Third graders, Mr. Askelson here. It is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and we are in week 8 of distance learning. I hope all of you had a very nice weekend. And remember, on today's spiral activity, we're doing kind of a repeat of some of the activities because we're really trying to work on strengthening our basic skills. Some of the things that you just have to be able to do and know to maybe solve some of the things you're going to be facing in fourth grade. In first, second, third grade, you learn how to add. You learn how to subtract. You learn how to round because you'll use these skills in some of the activities you'll be working on in fourth grade, fifth grade, and beyond. Uh, Clock, showing time, being able to count like with coins, and of course multiplication facts are just all really, really important skills. So today we're going to just focus on rounding, and we've done this a couple times already. And here's kind of the basic steps for rounding. And remember, rounding is an important skill that you would use if you want to do some estimating. You're going shopping and you don't have a calculator. You've only got $20. The things that you want to buy, can you round those numbers to give you an estimate that'll tell you if you're going to be close to that $20 mark that you have? So the basic steps are underlining the place value that you're going to be rounding, circle the number that's directly to the right of the underlined digit, and then looking at that circled number. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you round the rounding place up 1. If it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you keep the rounding place the same. So those are kind of the basic steps involved. One of the things I really like to use, whether it's for rounding or adding or just lots of other math skills, is using a number line. And number lines to me make it visual, and I can see easily what it is I'm trying to accomplish. And if I have to then explain it to one of my classmates or to the teacher or something like that, it's really easy to tell why you're rounding a number to the place you are because it's so easy to see on a number line. So this is it's kind of like a flow chart right here. We start up here and we work our way through and we get back to what our answer would be. So if we wanted to round 23 to the nearest 10, the first thing we would remember tens are numbers, the nearest tens are numbers that are multiples of 10. And you can see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So skip counting by tens. And multiples of 10 always have a 0 in the ones place. And you can see I start at 0, 10, 20. They all have a 0 in the ones place. So I asked myself then, if I'm going to round 23, what two multiples of 10 would 23 fall between? And you can see that 23 would be between 20 and 30. And so that kind of gives me my parameters, almost like a fence. I know that 23 is going to fit somewhere in between here as I'm rounding to the nearest 10. So if I was to place, mark that 23 on my number line, what's nearest to 23? Is it the 20 or the 30? And you can see if it's right here, it's closer to 20 than to 30. So my answer is 23 would round to 20. So this is kind of a simple little kind of a round flow chart that can help you go through these steps up here and being able to show it. 57, if we want to round that to the nearest 10, once again, we count multiples of 10. Now here they kind of skipped 0, 10, 20, and they jumped up because 57 is a little bit higher up on that scale. So they went 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and on up. And then what two numbers would 57 fall between? What two multiples of 10? And we know that it would be 50 and 60. And then we've got our other segments broken down by 1 so we can find exactly where 57 would be. And 57 is right here. What's 57 nearest to? 50 or 60? So there's 50, there's 60, there's 57, and it's real easy to see that 57 would round to 60. Okay? The rounding rules for the 100 is the same exact thing, except this time we would be skip counting by hundreds. And if I wanted to do 423 to the nearest 100, I would count by hundreds, 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, and you can see all the numbers here to the right would have zeros in it if I'm counting by, or skip counting by 100. So what are the two nearest hundreds to 423? And 423 would be between 400 and 500. And notice in between here, now they didn't break this down into ones because you would have to have 100 little marks if you broke it down into one. So they broke it down into tens in between 400 and 500, and it gets you close enough. You can see 423 would be about right there. So what is 423 nearest to? 400 or 500? There's 400, there's 500, there's 423, and you can see that it is closest to 400. So it rounds to 400. So there's another one here rounding in the hundreds place using the same process, a little higher number, but you go through the same thing. So as you're working on your spiral activity today, you've got some numbers here that you're going to round to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. Use the steps if that's easiest for you. Use a number line if that's easiest for you. Remember, there's lots of different ways to problem solve in math. So use what's going to work best for you. Try it one way and then maybe check it the other way and see if you come up with the same answer. So I hope that helps, third graders. Have a great day.